I'm going to go over databases now, how to import a file, set the data types, how to query it to filter it, and how to make a report for output. I'm going to start by opening new Access database, blank database. Now I'm going to go for external data, and the data I'm going to go for is a CSV file from past exam. So I select external data, text file, browse to the text file, select it, OK. There's a comma separated values, the values separated by commas, so I keep it under limited, and there we have commas selected. And now what I'm going to do is you also have to make sure that the first row contains the field names. That's this here. And now on this view I can look at the fields. This one is clearly a Boolean, so I'll select data type and I'll go for yes, no. And this one looks like an integer, so I'll leave it as an integer. If it has decimal places, then I would set it to real. These are all text. I'll let access create primary key since I have no obvious unique identification in this data set, and then I'll finish it. I don't need to save the steps. And here's my table. This is just a blank default table. I'll get rid of that. Oops. Didn't let me do that because the table is open. There we go. So here's my table, my data, and if we look at the Boolean, it's zeros and -1. -1 for false or no, 0 for true or yes. So if I go into select the database, go into design view, pull it down, go to the Boolean, and I look at the format down here. I can select it for whatever data it is, and this one's going to be yes or no. So I go back into the table, I need to save it, and you see it's all yes and no. I'm going to add a new record by typing in here, put in some test data, and come along here, a number here, and there's one record, and again another record. I put that in the wrong field. And the data has been accepted. So now I've imported this. Normally what you need to do is screen capture the data structure here for the exams. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to create a query by going to query design. I could use the wizard if I wish. I'm going to go to query design. I'm going to create a query. I'm going to add this table and add some fields. So I'll look at the ID, species, main, and other. So add the data that I want. I'll view the query. Now it says I can't do it because it's open. So that means this is open, so I'll close the table. Now the query should run. And look at my data. So in this case, what I might want to do is filter all of the species, all of the fish, where other equals red. So take red, and I go back to other, and I'll say where other equals red, and I'll run it, and now it's just where other equals red. What I could also do, if I went into the table and I look at the data, I can see that other can equal red and can also equal blue. So let me say, go back into my query, close the table, and I'll say, what if I want red or blue? So this is the criteria, and this is or. So if I want to see all of them where it equals red or equals blue, so this will broaden the search. So I run it, and I get red or blue. Now let's look at sorting. So I might want to sort it in ascending order according to the species. So I go into the sort under the field species, sort it in ascending order, and I run it again. Now it's sorted in ascending order, but I might not want this field to show up. The other field might just be used to filter it. So if I take this off, this field will not show, but these fields will show. And now I have my query, and I can save that query. So I'll give it a name. I'll call it red blue. And it's probably best if we say QRY for query to help with our naming. Red blue. That'll help us remember that it's a query. So now we've got two objects, and we now have this. So I'm going to go to create. I'm going to create report, and there's tables, queries, forms, and reports. So I'll go into report wizard, which is up here, and I'll base it on that query. I'll add all the fields and just click through. I can give it a title, so I'm going to call it red and blue fish. And I'll finish, and I have this view. I have print preview view. It shows me what it will look like when it prints. I've got the fields showing up. Now I can select this and go into the design view. And now in design view, I'm going to look for controls. I'm going to look for not a text box, but a label. I'm going to take a label and I'll put it down in the footer. Make it a little bit larger here. I'm going to get rid of the date. I'll put this next to the date, make the date smaller. Take my label, put it down here. I'll put my name and candidate number, or whatever other text I'm required to put. And then I'll go back to my print preview view, and I'll look, open this up, see my title up here, and the other data is down here at the bottom. And I could go ahead and print that now. If I want to set the size, A4 size, I've got the margins here. I can switch from portrait to landscape, the page orientation here. Now it's landscape. Once again, to change that, you need to go to layout view, and you see the context sensitive toolbar. It's highlighted up here, and if I go to page setup, then I can change it from portrait to landscape. You can set columns and other things on page setup. I can set the size, and I can set the margin. There's various formatting. I can click on the individual items. I've got page numbers, dates, and titles and logos. Or you just go to design view. And with a control, I can add text boxes and place them where I need to on here. So I'm going to save that report. Now I'm going to create a new query. Query design, add my table. And this time what I'll do is add the species, main, and I'll look for a rating. The rating is a numerical field. I'm going to make it show the grading where it's greater than 20 and less than 40. So I come back here and say where the rating is greater than 20. First thing I'm going to do before I put the AND condition in is check, see that it's working. So I've got everything greater than 20, and I'm going to go back. I'm going to type in and less than 30. I'm going to come back here, and I have greater than 20 and less than 30. And once again, everything else is the same. I can sort it according to one of the fields, ascending or descending order. I can elect to show that field or not show that field as I choose. And if I want to sort it according to two fields. I can sort it in this one ascending, this one ascending. And if I want to determine which one it's going to ascend or which one it's going to sort by first, I can drag this one over and make it sort on this field first by moving this in front of that. So that's going to sort on this one first and then on this second. So that's the ands with the numerical queries here. Let's have a look at wildcards. I want to find everything that's kin something, kinsui and kin matsuba. So I'll go in to this field, species, and in species I'll use the wildcard. Now type in kin star, and that's the wildcard, and it will find anything that's like kin and then replace everything that comes after it. So now we have kinsui and kin matsuba, and that's how the wildcard is used. I can also use the wildcard in front if I want anything that ends with shui, both of these to be returned. I can put star shusui. So let me pick this up. I come into design view, and I'm going to do star shusui, and you can see the star takes the place of anything that comes before this word here. So anything that ends in this word will show up. Okay, the last thing I'm going to look at is that the output from either a table or a database, or a table or a query, you can grab the whole thing and you can copy it. You can do copy here, click on that, to the clipboard or Control-C, the shortcut. You can copy it, I can come into a Word document or a spreadsheet, and then I can paste it. And this is for the integration task. The integration task will ask you, then it's just a table. I can manipulate it as I wish because it's just a table now. I can do paste it in several different formats. You see here, different formats that I can paste it in. And so now it's a table in Word, or I can put it straight in spreadsheet and make a chart if I need to for the integration task. And that's all for now for the databases. Thank you.